Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. 4 weeks of football have now came and passed us. We went through all these games. Monday Night Football was a good one. The Thunder and Lightning out in LA caused a delay. We'll get into that one later, guys. But before anything, how about them freaking Cowboys, man? You know us, we're doing our thing. Out here, #1 defense in terms of turnovers. Trevon Diggs had 2 more. We're going to get into that one as well. We have plenty of games to go through, guys. And this is why we got a new recap video. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this one. Week 4 recap, let's go. Starting off, we're going to go down to Philly where they hosted the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid, again, was in Philly, back in the building where he used to coach the Eagles for a long time. And yeah, he went in there and his team just went off. Patrick Mahomes had 278 yards with 5 total touchdowns, 1 interception. Tyreek Hill was a recipient of 3 of those touchdowns. Tyreek Hill had 186 yards with 3 touchdowns in that one. We saw another backflip in the end zone for Tyreek. And even though the Eagles lost this one 42-30, they put up a solid 30 points. Jalen Hurts, quarterback for the Eagles, had himself 378 passing yards with 2 touchdowns in this one. Great game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs take that one 42-30. Moving on, we had Dallas hosting the Carolina Panthers. Undefeated going up against this tough Dallas defense and offense. Thus far, Dak had himself 4 total touchdowns in that one. Zeke had 147 yards on the ground with a rushing touchdown. And Trevon Diggs, like I said earlier, had himself 2 interceptions in this one. At one point in the third quarter, Dallas totally took over, scoring 20 in the third, and that was a wrap. Even though Carolina attempted to come back late, it wasn't enough. 28-36 total in that one. Dallas gets the dub, moves on to 3-1. Moving on, we got the Detroit Lions, who went into Chicago, and Justin Fields got his first win. 209 yards passing with an interception. Had himself some great plays, great throws in that game. David Montgomery, although he got hurt and was carried off the field, had himself 106 yards with 2 touchdowns. Matt Nagy went on to say that Andy Dalton, when healthy, is a starting quarterback regardless of what Justin Fields is doing on the field. So, hey, that's what's going on out there in Chicago. They move on to 2-2 on the season. The Tennessee Titans went out to New York to play the Jets, and the Jets came out and won this game. Actually took it to overtime. Zach Wilson had himself 297 yards with 2 touchdowns. And Tennessee had a chance in overtime to get a tie, about 4 seconds on the clock, and they missed the field goal. The Jets win this one in overtime, and the Jets get their first win of the season. Congratulations, Zach Wilson, on your first NFL win. Congratulations to Robert Saleh on his first win as a head coach. And like I said, the Jets get a win. They're now 1-3. Moving on, the New York Giants, another New York team that got another win for New York. They get their first win as well this week as they went into New Orleans and they beat the New Orleans Saints. They took this game into overtime, just like the Jets did to the Titans. In overtime, on 1st and goal, Saquon went 6 yards for the touchdown that sealed it. I'm going to be honest, Daniel Jones looked pretty solid in this one. 402 yards on the day with 2 passing touchdowns. And yeah, the Giants are now not winless no more. They have a win now, 1-3, and they take on Dallas next week. Good luck, motherfucker. Moving on, Indianapolis went to Miami. Miami was wearing the throwbacks, and it didn't really help them because they got beat by Carson Wentz. 228 yards passing with 2 touchdowns in that one. Jonathan Taylor had 103 with a rushing touchdown, and the Colts get their first win of the season. Carson Wentz gets his first win in a Colts jersey. They move on to 1-3 as I predicted. The Baltimore Ravens went up to Denver, got the win there. Lamar Jackson was playing like a quarterback. 316 yards passing with the big touchdown pass to Marquise Brown, who had himself 91 yards with that touchdown. Baltimore beats Denver 23-7, beats the undefeated streak for Denver. Moving on, Washington went out to Atlanta to play the Falcons, and this one was a shootout out there in Atlanta, all right? Taylor Heineke had himself 290 yards with 3 total passing touchdowns. Matt Ryan had himself 283 yards with 4 passing touchdowns. Cordell Patterson had 82 yards with 3 receptions for touchdowns. J.D. McKissick for the Washington football team caught the 30-yard pass with about 33 seconds left to go score, and turned out to be the game winner for the Washington football team. They get that one 34-30. Washington is now 2-2 and kind of right behind Dallas if we really look at it. Moving on, the Arizona Cardinals went out and really stunned me. They went to SoFi and destroyed the Rams. Rams couldn't really get nothing going. Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford had 0 touchdowns between them. Matthew Stafford had 2 in the game, but had none to Cooper Kupp. The Rams are not really doing much in this game. The Cardinals went out there and put on a show. Scored 37 points on these Rams, the defense that scares me, if I'm being straight up with you. Kyler Murray had himself 268 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. Chase Edmonds had himself 120 rushing on the ground. And James Conner, 2 touchdowns with 50 yards on the ground. The Cardinals win 37-20 over the Rams in Los Angeles. Moving on to the Sunday Night Football game, a game that really shocked me. I did not think it was going to be this close, but New England's defense shut Brady's offense down. Brady couldn't get nothing going. Yeah, like I said, the New England defense pretty much stopped Brady in this one. Only allowed 19 points by the Buccaneers, and Mac Jones had 275 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, an interception in the game, and really the Patriots put themselves in position to win the game. 56 yards to win it, had enough length, and just went left to the upright and bounced off. New England loses that one 19-17. Brady has now beaten every team in the NFL, becomes the 4th player to do it. And yeah, those were our big games of this past week, guys. That is a recap of those. Moving on to the rest of the scores, let's pull it up for you guys. Cleveland going to Minnesota, won that one 14-7. They are now 3-1. The Houston Texans got destroyed by Buffalo in Buffalo 40-0. The Buffalo Bills looking amazing after their first loss to Pittsburgh. Seattle beats San Francisco 28-21. Jimmy Garoppolo looks to be out for a couple weeks. Trey Lance comes in, scores 2 touchdowns in that one. Looks not bad. San Francisco loses. They got Arizona next. Pittsburgh does not look good still, in my honest opinion. Loses again, this time to Green Bay in Green Bay, 27-17. The Packers are now 3-1 after their shutout loss in the first week. And on Monday night, the Chargers beat the Las Vegas Raiders 28-14. That one was crazy. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but as the Chargers were coming out before the game, lightning and thunder came out of nowhere. We had the delay, right? And then right after the game was over, after the Chargers win, we had more lightning and thunder. Was it the Chargers coming and exiting the game? I don't know. I don't know if that's what happened, but it was crazy how coincidentally it lined up with everything going on the field for the Chargers. They win that one. Are they possibly the number 1 team in the AFC? As of right now, they are the number 1 seed, but it is only 4 weeks in the season, so let's not get ahead of ourselves, guys. Those are the scores of week 4. Great games that passed us. We have another slate of great games ahead of us in week 5. With that being said, guys, let's go through week 4 stat leaders, and yeah, let's check out who's ahead of the game thus far. Okay, so before anything for stat leaders, we're going to start off with yardage, starting with the passing game. Pass yardage leader right now is Derek Carr with 1,399 yards through 4 games. At rushing yards, it's Derrick Henry with 510, about 100 more than the next guy up. So Derrick Henry is really taking over as always. Deebo Samuel leads the receiving yards with 490 yards receiving through 4 games. Moving on to touchdowns now, Patrick Mahomes leads it with 14 passing touchdowns through 4 weeks. Sam Darnold, a quarterback, not too fast of a quarterback at that. Sam Darnold of the Carolina Panthers, through 4 weeks, leads the rushing touchdown game. He has 5 rushing touchdowns. That's more than Derrick Henry, Zeke Elliott, freaking, I don't know, anyone, Austin Eckler. You throw any name out there. Sam Darnold has more touchdowns rushing through 4 weeks of football. That is insane. But yeah, that's our rushing leader, touchdown-wise. And for the touchdowns receiving, it's Cooper Kupp with 5, although he had 0 in this last game against Arizona. He's up there in first with the most touchdown catches through 4 weeks of football, guys. And with all that being said, let's move on to something that I just started last week, and it did not start so well for me, guys. It was horrible. Everyone I chose did not do good. In my defense, guys, I'm choosing guys who are not drafted. So guys who are most likely on the waiver wire, meaning they didn't get drafted in the overall draft, meaning they weren't good enough to certain leagues to be drafted. I'm giving you guys people who could possibly go off, and they didn't this past week. All right, let's go over that real quick. Here's a list of guys who I had in my fantasy lineup. I told you guys to possibly start these guys, and it went horribly for me. That's all my guys, and the point totals. Let's talk about it. Justin Fields had 7.26 points for fantasy. Leonard Fournette, one of the top dogs, had 13.8. Tony Pollard only had 6.7. Odell 3.1. Could have had more, but Baker missed him on a wide open touchdown. Robert Woods 10.8, had himself a touchdown, but only about 40 yards. Both my tight ends did shit. Logan Thomas got hurt, had himself 0 points, left the game early. Robert Tonyan only put up 0.8 points, not even a full point. What the heck, man? And my defense, Green Bay's defense put up 9 points. It's pretty solid. And Brandon McManus only had 1 extra point kicked in this one, which was good. And Denver's lost 7-23 to the Ravens. My total was completely horrible. 52.46 points total in fantasy. That is completely ridiculous. I didn't win shit on that lineup. And coincidentally, in this lineup that I just told you, I needed one more player. I had so much money left over because the players I got weren't too good, so they didn't cost as much. So I got Tyreek Hill, and he gave me 50 points. My team put up 52. Like, what the shit? Yeah, so as you can see, it wasn't too good. Good thing I have a couple days before my next video to give you guys a better lineup this week. I'm going to really look into it this time, and hopefully it comes out better than the last one, because that was completely horrible. You don't get shit with 52 points unless the person you're playing puts up 51. So, like I said, guys, I'm going to try to give you guys better advice next week. And like I said, I'm going to give you guys still guys who are coming off the waiver wire, guys who you can go out there and pick up. I know a ton of these guys are not drafted, are not on any teams, and they could ball out any day. So let's see what happens next week, all right? And with that all being said, guys, let's talk about Thursday Night Football. So this week for Thursday Night Football, guys, we got the Los Angeles Rams going up to Seattle to play the Seattle Seahawks. I truly think that the Rams are still one of the best teams in football. The Cardinals are slightly better right now, but the Rams are going to turn around. Sean McVay is going to turn this team around, and I truly believe we're going to see a lot of Cooper Kupp this next week on Thursday Night Football. And I'm pretty sure you guys know who I'm going for. I'm pretty much going for the Rams. It's not none of my picks, but if we're doing a Thursday night pick, I'm going for the Rams. And yeah, that's going to be a good one, guys. And that's going to wrap up our video. Like I said, we do have another video coming up on Saturday, so be sure to check that one out. And if you haven't seen the vlog yet, go check out the vlog. You're missing out, bro. It was freaking awesome. I had a great time. I'm going to bring you guys more vlogs because I'm going to more games this year. Rams Titans is my next one on my calendar. Let's see if I pick up a ticket to a different game. And yeah, guys, I'm pretty stoked for this season. It's been great so far. Like I said, Dallas leads the league in turnovers on defense. That is awesome considering we were the worst team defensive-wise last year, like historically bad. That's what Dallas was last year, and now we're number 1. Trevon Diggs is coming out. He's crazy. Be sure to check out Saturday's video because it's going to be a good one. Those are going to be picks of the week. We're going to talk about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Saturday. I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys on Saturday, okay? Peace.